Welcome back. Let's look at the adventure for today. So now we're going to look at calculating interest rate. Then we will go on to simple interest, finish up with compound interest, and then just before we go, we will look at a comparison between simple and compound interest. What is interest? Interest is extra money earned when you make an investment or extra money charged when you borrow money. The variables you will use when doing calculations with interest are the following. The initial amount, that will be the amount you invest or lend. The interest rate is the percentage used to calculate the interest value. The interest value is the extra money that you will receive or pay for investments or loans. The period, it's the duration of the investments or loans, always in years, please remember that. And then the total value is the lump sum at the end of the period. Now, when we calculate interest rate, there is two ways. To find the interest value, you find the difference between the final and the initial value, meaning my interest is going to be my final minus my initial value. Or you can use the percentage increase or decrease formula, and in short it says the interest value over the initial value times 100. Remember, the times 100 is very important because that is when we will calculate a percentage. What will happen is it's going to be new minus old over old times 100. So first I'll calculate my interest value. There it is. Divided by old, my initial, times by 100. Let's look at an example. Tumi invest 10,000 Rand for a year. At the end of the year, he received a total amount of 10,200 Rand from the bank. At what interest rate did he invest? So remember now, it is new minus old over old times 100. So the new is the lump sum, 10,200, minus the old is what he invested, 10,000, divided by the 10,000 times 100. Do you remember that this formula will be given to you? And then you will see it's an answer of 2%. So let's just relook at this. Tumi invest 10,000 Rand, so the initial value is 10,000. And then he received a total of 10,200. That would be his total value. And then we calculated the interest rate. And that is how we calculate the interest rate. Let's look at another example. Simisile invests 5,000 Rand for a year. At the end of the year, she receives an extra, that's important, an extra 275 Rand on her original amount. At what interest rate did he invest? So, what do we have in this question? What is given? The 5,000 Rand for a year is my initial value, and then the extra 275 Rand on her original amount will then be the interest value. And now we need to calculate the interest rate. Now remember, the percentage increase or decrease is new minus old over old times 100. But we don't have the old amount. We only have the extra amount. But if I take my lump sum and I deduct my initial value, my answer will be my extra money. So don't fear, we can still use it by saying the extra money is going to be 275 Rand over the old one. So now we will say the 5,000 Rand times 100. And then you will see it's 5.5%. Let's just quickly recap. New minus old. We have our old amount, which is the 5,000 Rand. We don't have the new one, but we can use this by saying my lump sum minus my initial will be my extra, and then it's 275 Rand over 5,000 times 100. And that is how we calculate the interest rate. Let's look at simple interest. Now, with simple interest, the amount of interest stays the same each year. So if you earned 100 Rand interest for the first year and you are investing for 5 years, it will be 100 Rand for each year during the 5-year time period. The interest value is calculated at the end of the period and added to the principal or initial value. Visually, simple interest is interpreted as straight line growth, meaning when you do a graph, it will be a straight line. Let's look at an example. Patients invest 10,000 Rand at a bank at 10.5% simple interest per year. How much will she receive in total after a period of 10 years? What information did they give us? They said she invests 10,000 Rand, so that is the initial amount. They gave us the 10.5% simple interest, that is our interest rate. And then they gave us a period of 10 years, that is how long she will invest. So, what's going to happen now is first we need to calculate interest for 1 year. And this is a normal percentage calculation. So it's going to be 10,000 times the 10.5%. And then you will see the interest value is 1,050 Rand. So the interest for 10 years is going to be 1,050 times 10, which is then 10,500. So at the end, her lump sum is going to be her start off amount, 10,000, plus the interest that she earned, 10,500. So after 10 years, she would receive a lump sum of 20,500 Rand. Blessing needs a new TV and sees an advert for 12,349 Rand. He decides to take a loan with an interest rate of 15.7% per year for 3 years. Calculate the total amount that he will pay for the TV. So let's look at the information. There is 12,349 Rand. That is our initial amount. And then we have our 15.7% interest rate. And then we have our time period, 3 years. So it will work exactly the same as the first one, where we need to calculate our interest rate for the first year. That is going to be 12,349 times our interest rate of 15.7%, and that is 1,938 Rand and 79 cents. Now the interest rate for 3 years is going to be 3 times that. And that is 5,816 Rand 37. So the lump sum of what he will owe is then the 12,349 Rand plus the interest 5,816.37. So in the end, he will end up paying 18,168 Rand. No, it's a 65 Rand. Sorry about that. 65.37. So for a TV that's supposed to cost 12,349 Rand, he is now paying 18,165 Rand and 37 cents. Let's quickly take a break. See you soon.